All right. Good evening, everybody. So we're running just a couple of minutes behind. Mario is getting his coffee pot set up and ready to rock and roll. And here we are. I want to double check something real quick because y'all, uh, yesterday morning we got thrown off of YouTube and Facebook. And nope, looks like we are still streaming on Facebook and YouTube tonight, which, whatever. We're we're not going to be on YouTube and Facebook for most of the evening tonight. We'll be doing the going behind the paywall once we start getting into the actual subject matter, the Spanish Revolution. Mario is going to give us a history lesson on the Spanish Revolution tonight, and we'll talk about some important parallels that are worth noticing and discussing to things that are going on in America today. A little compare and contrast between revolutionary Spain and communist Russia and modern America. Let me tell you why I'm running behind tonight, because it's kind of funny. I wish I already saw Dad or Uncle Steve, or better yet, both in the chat, so I'd know that they're watching for this part of the story. But I went to an event with my dad and Santa Steve and my godfather Russ, and it was the Outdoorsman Fellowship event at I believe it's called Lighthouse Baptist Church in Jackson, Georgia. Now, Dad told me that this was going to be a wild game dinner thing, and I didn't quite know what to expect. I was kind of half expecting like a black tie thing with semi-exotic meats on offer. That's not what it was at all. This was a huge event. There were between 1,500 and 2,000 men there, I believe. And it was in a church. We listened to some gospel bluegrass, and then there was a speaker that got up, and I forget his name now, Mark something. I could probably find his name real quick. He's apparently the only man who's ever won the Grand Slam in fishing. Who is the Grand Slam? So apparently the guy's a bit of a celebrity. Did a pretty good startup. Pretty good show to start. Who is the Grand Slam bass fisherman? Now, let me see if I can find his name real quick. Nope. This guy was the first one. That's Kevin Van Dam. Hank Parker. There it is. Hank Parker. Hank Parker was the first man to win the Grand Slam, which is it means he won all four of the Bassmaster titles that are available to win. So the Classic, the Angler of the Year, the Elite Series, and the Bassmaster Open. Anyway, so he gets up and he starts telling a story. And he starts telling this story about how his dad was an alcoholic and abusive, and mama left him, and he started going down the wrong road, and Jesus saved him and all this stuff. And, I'm sure that touches a lot of people. I mean, it's a church service, and it was, y'all need to get you some Jesus type of stuff. I'm sure that touches some people, touches a lot of people. And I've known people who need them some Jesus to drag them out the bottle as well. And I've known people who have got some Jesus to drag them out of the bottle and done better for it. And I'm grateful to whatever it is that helped them turn their lives around from something like that. Now, that said, for me, it actually kind of reminded me of this couples retreat that the Army sent the wife and I to when I first got to Hawaii back in the very beginning of 2009. the Army sent the wife and I to this couples retreat because the Army had a problem. They were sending soldiers down range over and over again, and marriages were falling apart. People were losing faith, I guess one could say. Excuse me. And they sent us to the couples retreat to save our marriage, and it was awkward. Fee and I have talked about this many times since then. It was very awkward because, okay, so the retreat required you to sit in these like couples classes with the pastor, with the chaplain. And what made it awkward is all of the training, all of the conversation with the chaplain was geared around the key basic assumption that your marriage is in ruins, you're already discussing divorce, and it's probably because you're in crippling debt because you're a stupid private. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, we're very happily married and have a shitload of money. So,
well, if it makes you feel any better, I went to one of those. I went to one of those too, and my marriage was falling apart.
Well, that didn't work out for you, did it?
Nah, I mean, dude, we went to the marriage retreat the night after I got out of jail for my DUI. You want to talk about fucking timing? Holy shit! Yeah, it's funny. It's funny now.
Which one did you
talk about? Awkward.
Which resort did they put you at?
It was in Maryland. So
okay.
I believe it was Strong Bonds. It was called Strong Bonds through the Navy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Same thing with you. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We did two of them. We did one at Turtle Bay and we did one at the Prince Kahia Hilton in Waikiki. Okay. Yeah, we did two of them on the beach in Hawaii. They were actually both awesome events. It's just that the content of the class part of it was, for the first one, was just not what Fee and I needed. The second one was something Fee and I desperately needed to improve our marriage because the preacher explained to everybody, listen, ladies, you cannot ask your man to do something while you've got your head in the dryer and he's cutting the grass. He can't hear you.
Yeah. Well, I guess two of the things. One thing I really liked about it is we did the Myers-Briggs test. You know what I mean? Where you find out what personality type. What is it, like 16 personality types, right?
Yeah.
And I found out that I'm like the ISTP, which is like the 1% weirdo fucking autist nerd. I'm like, yeah.
I am not that funny.
And everybody went up and like wrote what they were on a Post-it note and stuck it up on the board, and it's like everybody's clustering, and then over here in the corner it's me all alone. Like, that's right. Mario, the unlovable. Okay. I don't know. Maybe the thing I could have used at a marriage retreat was because I don't know. The one I was at seemed kind of focused on basically what might be going on the masculine side of the marriage. Okay. But I don't know. Maybe like I said, it was a traumatic time for me because I had just gotten busted, hemmed up, fucking getting my ass shredded by the command. It's just an ugly time for me. Okay. But I don't know. One of the things that I think the marriage retreat could have used was maybe an explanation to women that if you married a man who had certain character traits, don't be shocked when, now that he's your husband, he still has same said character traits.
So let me tell another story. Also happened tonight. So this event was in Jackson, Georgia. It's about an hour and a half from my house, right? And I was planning on leaving there a little before 7 to get back here by 8:30 to start the show. I did all the setup this morning, early in the morning, then took an afternoon nap before the boy and I left for the event. And I actually had a bit of a coughing fit in the middle of the presentation at the church, but it was at about 6:45. So I just got up and excused myself and went to the bathroom and coughed, cleared my throat, got a bottle of water, and grabbed the boy, and we walked out. So we're heading home. And on the side of the road, we passed by on the side of the road, there's this car crashed and stuck in a ditch. And y'all, this was half an hour up the street from about a half an hour from my house, right? So about a half an hour from my house, there's a car crashed in a ditch on the side of the road.
I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be distracting. It's
okay.
I didn't
hilarious.
I didn't shower today, and I did some heavy gardening earlier, so I'm a bit unkempt.
Yeah, we can tell.
I'm kind of tired too.
So this car is stuck in a ditch on the side of the road in the middle of nowhere, and like far enough off the side of the road, there were like 3 or 4 cars directly in front of me on the Georgia highway as we're passing by this, and they all kept going, and I stopped and pulled in to make sure everybody was okay. I mean, car in the this was not she ran off the road a little bit. This was she crashed in a ditch and totaled her car. It is stuck there. It's not coming out without a wrecker. So I get out, and there's a young black guy trying to help her, and the girl manages to climb out of the car. She's not hurt. So the young black guy just lives across the street. He heard a crash and ran out of his house to go check on her, and good on him.
Isn't this the plot to Black Steak Moan?
Oh no. So she gets out of the car, and something becomes quickly apparent. I shit you not. This happened to me tonight on my way home. This was an hour ago. She doesn't speak any English, and she's terrified that we're going to call the police.
Yo llamo
please
la
no
migra.
Police. Please no police.
Llamo la migra.
and I start talking to her in the little bit of Spanish that I've got left. I used to be damn good at Spanish. It has deteriorated, but está bien. No peligroso aquí. Está bien. And y'all, okay. The car's crashed in the ditch on the side of the road, right? So it's her car that's destroyed. Nobody's hurt. There's not a second vehicle involved. Under normal circumstances, general circumstances, if that's the case, I'm not calling the police. There's no need to. I'm going to call a tow truck, right? I'm going to call a wrecker to come and drag my car out of the ditch. And if I can limp it home, I will. And if I can't, then I'll have them drop it off at my mechanic, and we'll figure out what we're doing from there, right? Especially if it's after dark. I'm not going to stand there and wait for an insurance adjuster to come out and look. No, fuck you. You can meet me at the mechanic's office, at the mechanic shop tomorrow, and figure out what you have to pay me. That's what I pay you for. I pay you to pay me when shit goes wrong. Excuse me. So she's freaking out, afraid the cops are going to come. And now I'd gotten out of my truck to go and check on her, and I keep my phone on a little holder on the dashboard, so I didn't have my phone on me to call the cops. And the brother said, "Okay, let me run home and tell my folks not to call the cops." I'm like, "Oh, honey, you're putting me in a bad position." And she tells me, "I'm born here. I just don't speak English. I was born here. I just don't speak English." She's about 20 years old.
Veramente. Okay. Like, where you from? You from Martinez, Georgia? How? Like what?
Well, and apparently she had a driver's license that checked out, because the cops did in fact show up. Sheriff showed up. Then an ambulance showed up. Then a fire truck showed up. And then another fire truck and another ambulance. Nobody called the cops. Nobody called anybody. But she's driving a relatively new car. The car called emergency services when she crashed. And, so there's a lot to be learned from this interaction. Okay.
Yeah. And she was lucky she got you and not me. Because if it was me, it would have been like, no te preocupes, señora. Si quieres que yo no llama la policía, hayan algunos servicios que necesitas hacer.
Well, so I'm just standing here. I'm like, okay, you put me in an awkward position. The cops showed up on their own without me having to call anybody, and I was debating myself anyway. Like, okay, I would not normally call the police in this situation, except that you suddenly don't want me to call the police, and please don't call the police sounds a hell of a lot to me like you should call the police. But they ended up showing up anyway because, like I said, her car called them. Some lessons here. If you're going to be if you're the kind of person that doesn't want the police to get involved in things, maybe you should not have OnStar. Right? Operational security, my friend. If you're going to be somewhere you're not supposed to be, getting up to shit you're not supposed to get up to, maybe don't have a GPS that automatically calls emergency services. Just for one. Now, she said she was born here, and when the sheriff showed up, she produced a driver's license that the sheriff didn't seem to have any problem with. So all that was fine, right? And I calmed her down, and I told her, hey, sheriff, you're not in trouble. Todo está bien. Right? You're not in trouble. No crime. You're not hurt. Just calm down. Everything's gonna be okay. She said her father was on the way with a crane. Like, good luck with that. Whatever that means. I think she meant some kind of tow truck wrecker type of situation.
Exactly.
But who knows?
To be fair, I don't know the Spanish word for winch either. To be
right. Yeah, exactly.
La cosa que gira tomer el coche. See? No? Oh, okay.
But I got her calmed down, and I left her with the sheriff and the ambulance, and they checked her out, and I left. The other takeaway here, let's assume for just a moment that the little girl's not lying to me, that she really was born here. Forget about the very important constitutional arguments over the question of birthright citizenship for a moment. Let's just imagine for a moment, for the sake of argument, that the facts are these. She is lawfully present. She is a citizen born in the United States, legally allowed to be here, legally a citizen of the United States, and she doesn't speak English well. And she was losing her mind, freaking out, terrified that the police would be called after she wrecked her car. Now, why is that, do you think? Is it because she has a legitimate concern? No. It is because evil has been lying to her, has been telling her that Donald Trump is the president, that means that we live in Nazi Germany, and every white man wants to rape and murder you and sell you to Jeffrey Epstein and then deport you. Right. In that order. Mm-hmm. And that's what she believes.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. If there are pockets of Georgia, okay, that have such an extreme concentration of new immigrants from Spanish-speaking countries to the point where someone could achieve the age of 20-something and not actually speak the language, that's a fucking problem, okay?
Yeah.
That's a serious fucking problem. So no,
and those places absolutely exist in Georgia.
This bitch isn't innocent, okay? Not at all. She doesn't belong here. She should be deported under if we had a real country.
If you talk about somebody who's 20, who's been here her whole life and doesn't speak English, I'm not going to argue that she belongs here, but she is the victim.
Get him out. I don't care. Get him out.
Oh, I agree. Because I mean, make no mistake, Mario. When I say that, understand, I also believe that child soldiers in African armies are the victims.
We
That
do.
doesn't mean I won't return fire.
Yeah, we do now. Fee. Trump signed an executive order.
Yeah, English is the national language.
If that means anything. District judge overturns English as a national language. I don't know. Anyway, all right.
So all right. Well, we are 20 minutes in without starting the presentation. So
you're 20 minutes in, and the obvious ramp up was, holy fucking God, they're at war with Iran. And you didn't touch it at all.
I did not.
You did not. It wasn't just an elephant in the room, okay? There was like a procession of pink elephants, okay? Of kaleidoscopic pachyderms, okay, dancing in front of you, and you freaking ignored them. How is that possible?
Yep.
Mr. Lowry.
Oh, please believe that is what we're going to be talking about Monday morning for sure.
No. Just letting the dust settle.
So wake your ass up, son.
I'll tell you what, people out there, all I'm going to say on it, you better pray, okay? You better pray that at no point in this weekend do we have a U.S. aircraft carrier basically deadlined and listing somewhere in the Straits of Hormuz,
the
Gulf, or in the Indian Ocean. Because if something like that, they wouldn't. I doubt they wouldn't sink it, but it'd be deadlined. Okay, it'd be basically it'd be one of the biggest salvage operations ever, getting that thing back to Qatar. Okay, but pray that doesn't happen, because then we're in a whole new world of shit. Okay, so far from what I've seen, looks like a Teflon Don is getting away with it. Okay, like Venezuela. Pray that continues to be the case. All right. And
the most recent reporting I've seen, it looks like they killed Khomeini and
they took out the top leadership,
closest lieutenants.
Yep.
There may be no other fallout after that. Just hey, America has given up on the idea of regime change, and we've just switched to straight regime erasure, which I'm comfortable with.
We have entered into apparently just tabula rasa board wipe mode right now. Okay, probably in an attempt to forestall the inevitable collapse of the United States economy. Okay, but like I said, that's not what we're here for tonight. We're already 22 minutes in, Chris, and we have a sponsor for tonight's program. Okay, as most of you know, I have been alcohol free since Ash Wednesday, so I am going on about 1.5 weeks sober right now. All the physical ailments, okay, have passed. Now it's just mental mode. All right, and that's why I'd like to introduce you to Klaustaller. Okay, the finest German non-alcoholic malt beverage you can buy. Okay, if you can't drink, all right, but you want something that gives you at least some satisfaction of the flavor, you got to go with Klaustaller, okay? Because only the Germans know how to make fake beer that tastes like real bad beer, okay? Highest recommendation. Klaustaller, buy it up. Make checks payable to Brushfire Mind LLC. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Well, tonight we're going to be talking about the Spanish Revolution. So, Mario, you've got about 4 minutes. Ready?
Lowry, Felicia says, I doubt they agreed to sponsor. Thanks, Fee. I think nobody's paying for this, okay? No one. This pays other people, okay? That's how it works, all right? That's how it's always going to work.
All right, guys. We're going to go ahead and do this. We have a new song for you tonight to go with the theme of the show.
How long is it, if you don't mind me asking? Is it a 2-minute special where I get a quick puff pass, or is it a
4 minutes and 4 seconds?
Ooh. Demi opus. Excellent. Okay.
Demi opus. Proceed.
The air went thick that summer. Nobody said dust on the olive road. Shoes worn thin at the heel. Men talk long past sundown. Said things they wouldn't repeat. The bell rang twice that morning, once more than it should. No one crossed themselves, everyone heard it. They said it was finally changing. They said it had to. España, hold your breath. This ground remembers death. Every promise cuts to wait, and night comes early here. Books change hands in the schoolhouse. Pages torn, names crossed out. The statue lay on its side all week. No one moved it. Bread was passed with argument. Rifles came later. A man prayed in the doorway until someone told him not to. You can call it mercy, right up until it's gone. España, don't look back. Some lines don't fade to black. What's broken stays broken unless someone stays. No fue furia, no fue fe, fue el suelo cediendo bajo los pies.